my life, I'm a lot like you were. Oh man, look at my life.
Well, we are joined now by Dr. Greg Wells, who is going to be the keynote speaker for the Joy of Aging event for Mackenzie Health. Now, that's coming up on October 23rd. And Christine, you are going to be there. You are the official MC.
Yes, I'm going to have the pleasure of listening to Dr. Wells twice, here and there.
Well, Greg, you're going to speak about peak performance. In fact, you've been at U of T's TED Talks. You're featured on an upcoming documentary on CBC's The Nature of Things. Tell us about what you mean by peak performance and how we all achieve it, because I guess that's what we want to do.
Yeah, we do, and it happens across any age. So the idea of peak performance kind of came out of the two spectrums of the research that I do at U of T and Sick Kids. So I'm a professor at the University of Toronto, scientist at Sick Kids. At U of T, I've got a high-performance sport research lab. We look at Olympic-level performance, Olympic athletes, how to train to reach your absolute best physically and mentally in some cases. And then at Sick Kids, what I do is I do exercise medicine, how you can use exercise to prevent, diagnose, and treat chronic diseases. So I really worked with Olympic-level athletes or children who are trying to fight for their lives. And what we've discovered over the last 3 or 4 years is that the information, the tools, tactics, strategies, and techniques that everyone uses to push the limits and stay healthy, even though I work mostly with athletes or with people fighting diseases, what we've learned applies to absolutely everybody across the entire spectrum of human health and also across our entire lifespans as well. And I think that that's now become the mission in life, is to take that information and bring it to everybody to help them out.
I'm getting the sense it may not be a quick fix.
It is not a quick fix. It's my billion-person problem. It's, if I could tackle this in the rest of my life, that's what I want to try to do. But if you think about it, we have 20% of the population who's faced with mental health challenges, 58% of the population with overweight or obesity, 85% don't get enough physical activity, 25% don't sleep enough. So these are population-level challenges that we can address using information from athletes, how to eat better, how to exercise better, information that we can pick up from treating chronic diseases, like how do we sleep better to help reduce inflammation. All these are the things that apply that can help absolutely anybody.
But in the end, it almost sounds like the fountain of youth. That's the quest. So this all applies to the slowing of aging at the end of the day.
It really does. It is the fountain of youth. That's the goal. You want to live a world-class life. You want to be able to do whatever it is that you want to do on a daily basis. Pursue your passion projects, whether that's spending time with your family, whether or not it's going on vacations and be able to go hiking or to go swimming and do whatever it is that you want to do. Or if you're volunteering, to be able to throw yourself into that. So little things that people can do that can turn back the clock, that can reverse almost aging are so numerous now. It's really exciting time.
But what's interesting is this came from your own personal experience in your childhood.
It did. So it all originates from me breaking my neck when I was 15 years old, body surfing, which I'm now trying to get back into these days. But anyway, it took me 30 years. And that injury began my interest in how the human body works. And actually 4 years ago, after having children and my daughter was at daycare, she picked up a little virus. We were run down because we were moving houses. My wife was doing grad school. I was going to the Olympics to commentate, launching a book. I got really run down and I picked up that virus and it gave me viral myocarditis. And I discovered that now that I was 40 years old, approximately, I needed to really discipline myself on sleeping, nutrition, and exercise in order to get healthy and to never, ever, ever get sick again. And now that we've done that, now that we've integrated that into our lives at home, we found that so many other things are better as well. Energy levels are so much better. Relationships are better. Believe it or not, even though I took a step back at work to get healthy, everything at work exploded at that time and got so much better as well. So it's an amplifier effect.
Okay, so what are the 4 keystones? Because I can hear our listeners going, tell us the secrets, tell us the secrets.
What's the secret?
Let's go.
Yeah, the secret is not really a secret. It's not rocket science. We really need to eat smarter. Nutrition is the foundation. We need to sleep soundly, consistently. We need to prioritize sleep, make it something that we all believe in, that we actively pursue. We need to exercise consistently. I could just say move more, ideally move more in nature. And the final component is to think clearly. So those 4 pieces, eat, sleep, move, think. If you can do those and then do them together, that's the amplifier effect. They're not 1 + 1 + 1. They're sort of 3 × 3 × 3. They build upon each other and exponentially grow what you're capable of from a health perspective.
Well, when you're talking, though, about exercise and nutrition, you're studying peak performance athletes, and they have a whole different regimen than the average person. I mean, is this something that really requires that you stop everything and you plan it out? I mean, is this a regime like going to boot camp, or can people do small things that cumulatively make a difference?
Absolutely, and that's the key message that I try to push out as much as I can. It's the aggregate of 1% gains. If you are 1% better on a daily basis over a year, you're 350% better. 1% of your day is 15 minutes. And 15 minutes of exercise a day is enough to decrease your risk of certain cancers 35 to 50%.
No.
Breast cancer and colon cancer specifically. So
15 minutes of exercise reduces my risk of colon and breast cancer by 50%?
35 to 50%, depending upon the research study. It's absolutely, and the intensity is walking. So you literally only have to move. You don't have to run. You don't have to lift weights. You just simply have to go for a walk consistently every day, and you can dramatically change the outcomes.
Okay, exercise, I understand. Let's talk a little bit about sleep, because I think I'm becoming my father, who has always woken up about 3 in the morning, worked from 3 to 5, then gone back and got up when everybody else gets up at 7. I've started to do that. I find it incredibly productive. I wake up wide awake, an hour and a half, 2 hours, get all my stuff done, and then go back and have a morning routine. But that's me. Are everybody's sleep patterns different? How do you standardize this?
Well, everyone does have different sleep patterns. We're all humans. Every human's unique and different. So it's important that you try to figure out what works best for you. Some people do have sleeping patterns where they sleep twice a day. All the research says that napping is phenomenal and healthy
naps.
for, oh my gosh, they're so awesome. But I say that as someone with 2 young kids, so I'm sort of like just dreaming of the day where I can have a good nap again. But anyway, so the 20-minute power nap works beautifully. The 90-minute full sleep cycle nap works great. But the ultimate goal is for people to try to get 7.5 hours of sleep for every 24 hours of the day. Anything less than 6 hours, your risk of chronic disease increases. Anything more than 9 hours begins to increase your risk as well. But I think less than 6 hours causes problems, whereas more than 9 hours is symptomatic.
So there's a good window there, 6 to 9 hours. 7.5 being ideal.
Yeah, 7 and 8 is what we shoot for.
Okay.
So if somebody is listening and they haven't done any of those things, and they may be quite mature, you know, the new 40 or the new 60.
Yep, 40 is the new 60 is the new 40. Yeah.
If they start today, does it make a difference, or do you have to start this at a certain point for it to matter?
It doesn't matter when you start. The benefits accumulate and begin at any age. There was one of my colleagues at the University of Toronto did a research study on women in nursing homes who had dementia, who were incontinent, who were confined to wheelchairs. And by simply getting them to do things like moving their arms, moving their legs over a period of time, he got them up and out of the wheelchairs, reduced incontinence, dementia decreased. And I love telling the story of the man from Mississauga, actually, in Toronto, who only started running at 88 after his wife died and completed his first marathon after at 100 over 100 years of age. It's
and
amazing.
Never mind your mother. Didn't you say she was a late convert, but now she's hooked?
She is unbelievable. She's such an incredible inspiration. So my mom just turned 70, and I posted a picture on Twitter, Instagram, and all those other things of her deadlifting more than her own body weight now. So she...
What?
Yeah, she's got these... I'll post it and tag what she said radio on it so you can see it. But she's lifting these barbells with these massive weights on either side, and they weigh more than she does.
And everybody's standing there with their mouth open at the gym?
Yeah, she's the only one that trains at her gym when she goes in. Everyone else just watches.
Okay, Dr. Greg Wells, how can people get in touch with you and find out more about what you're telling us?
Right. So the first thing is Twitter at Dr. Greg Wells, my website, drgregwells.com, and Facebook as well at Dr. Greg Wells.
And also check on our website. Of course, we'll have information and maybe a few tickets for the Joy of Aging event that's coming up on October 23rd. Thank you very much. Now, I think I can handle the sleep, the eat, the move. It's the think better. I don't know. That's going to be tough. Organize myself more.
Well, I shall see you October 23rd, and I'm sure that if anybody wants tickets to listen to your full speech, they can go to the Mackenzie Health Foundation website and see if there are any left. This is What She Said on The Jewel. Stay with us.